Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's okay, Amara. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make trouser with elastic waistband at the back of your trouser and side zip. So here, I'll go ahead and mark my starting point, this line at the top. So after I marked my starting point, I'll now go ahead and measure my crotch depth. Starting from that line that I marked, I'll measure it down. I marked 11. So to get your crotch depth, you divide your hip by 4 and you add 1 inch, extra 1 inch, and you mark it. So I'm trying to take the same measurement at the other side too. So after that, you have to connect the line. Now I will now mark my hip divided by 4 plus half inch. My hip divided by 4 plus half inch. That half inch is for the seam allowance. I mark this at the hip side, that crotch line, and I also mark it at the starting point. And I'll connect the line. So now to get this measurement that I put here, you have to divide your hip by 4, which I divided my hip by 4, which gave me 10. That 10 I divided it again by 4. It gave me 2.5. That was what I marked there. So at the starting point now, I have to mark my waist measurement, which is my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for seam allowance. Now I take my measurement from waist to new measurement and also the full length. Now you have to check what you have there, divide it by 2. At that your crotch line, divide whatever you have there by 2 and you will measure it down from that crotch down to nail length and down to the full length. You're just trying to get the midpoint of this your trouser. So after finding my center point, I have to connect the lines together. I just need to connect the line from that side down to the full length. So after that, I came down by 3 inch from that crotch line. I came down by 3 inch. That 3 inch that I came down by is where I will mark my thigh measurement. Now here I divide my thigh measurement by 2, sorry. My thigh divided by 2 is 12. That 12 divided by 2 again is 6. I don't know if you get it. Let me recap again. My thigh is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So that 12 that I got, I divide it again by 2, which gave me 6. I'll now place that 6 at that line that I marked, that center line that I marked, and I will take my full measurement, my correct measurement. I mark 6 at the other side, and I also mark 6 at the other side, just as you can see me doing. So here I just added allowance there. The same thing I did at the upper side, that thigh side. I'm also doing it at the nail side. I divide my nail by 2 and I also divide the result again by 2 again. So I marked the measurement also. After connecting everything now, I'll go ahead and cut. So here now, I'm done cutting the front. I folded fabric again into two. After folding this fabric into two again, I'm going to place the front, that front that we just cut, I'm going to place it on top, leaving 2 inch at the both side. The other side, at the hip side and also at the inner thigh side, just as you can see. I went ahead and transferred the crush line to the back fabric. So now at the waist part, I went in by 2 inch. That 2 inch, I replaced it at the other side. I replaced the 2 inch that side. So I still measured that same 2 inch at the crush line. That line that serves also serves as hip line. I marked my 2 inch here at this crush line. I marked my 2 inch. And now I have to connect it from that waist to that 2 inch that I marked. After connecting it at that hip part, I measure my 2 inch there again, and the new part I measure 1.5 inch. That 1.5 inch, I'll still measure it at the full length. After measuring it, I'm trying to connect it with my ruler to connect the lines together from that full length to my nail, from nail to the hip line, which is also my crush depth. And if you watch here, that 2 inch that I marked at this front part, I connect it back to my thigh. I didn't mark it up to the nail. I just connect it to my thigh, and I'm going to cut. I'll also cut out this part also. So this is what I have after cutting it. I just separate the front from the back, and I will bring back the front there. Just put the front. I want to cut out the pocket right now. So I will measure 2 inch inward at that part, just as you can see me doing. I measured 2 inch and I went down by 7 for the depth of the pocket, and I connect the line. I'm going to cut it out. Here I brought this fabric. This is called a pocketee. I'll be using this for the pocket, and I cut out 7 inch. The width is 7 inch. So I'm going to cut this out. Just make sure that it's 7 inch. I'll cut it out. After cutting it out, I went ahead and fold it into 2. So I measure my length. I'll be using 13 inches there. For my pocket length, I'll be using 13 inch for the pocket length, and I'll mark a straight line there to cut it out. So from that edge, if you look now, the other side is unfold and this other side now is open. So that place now that I placed my tape out, I went up by 1.5 inch. So I have to curve it. I have to cut it, curving it also. You can see what I did there. I'm done cutting it now. I'm going to open it up, placing the two together to make sure it's equal. So after that, I'll bring the front and place on it at one side of it in order to cut that slant that I cut before for the pocket opening. So placing it like this, I will now cut it following the first cut that I did, just as you can see. I'll cut out this now. This is just the pieces that I picked there. I'll cut it and open it also. Cut it open. So now watch, look at what I did. I placed it at the side, not the other side that I cut open, just the other side that I did not open. I placed it at one of the side, and I'm also going to do the same thing to the other pockets. It's time to cut the waistband. I'll be using this fabric for the waistband. I marked 4 inch. So So that 4 inch now, when I fold it, it will give me 2 inch. My waistband will be 1.5 on fold. So here I marked 4 inch. That 4 inch will give me 2 inch on fold. I will use half inch to join it to the trouser. So here I'm done stitching that fabric to this spaghetti. I'll go ahead and sew the pockets to the trouser. You can see what I did. I turned that fabric, the right side of the fabric, facing the right side of the trouser leg, that front part. I'll do the same thing to the both sides. Now after sewing and top stitching it, I'm going to arrange it very well now. Then go back to the sewing machine to sew it very well in order for it to form pockets. Here guys, I'm done attaching the pockets to the trouser, to the front part like this. So the next thing to do right now is to place the other leg to the other leg, the both right side facing each other. I'm going to place it on top, right side facing the right side. I will sew it using half inch. Just the cross line from that upper part down to this cross line. Here I'm done sewing it now. I did the same thing to the back side, and this is it. I'll open the back side up, and I'll also open the front and place it on. Now watch, I place the front on top of the back, and I will go and join it. I will go and sew the both sides. I will join the both sides now. At one of the sides, I'm going to leave half inch at the top. At the other side, I'm going to leave about 9 to 10 inch where I'll be attaching the zip. So I'll go ahead and sew it now. I'm done sewing it here. That place that I left, I'll be attaching the zip there. So the next thing I will do is to sew the waistband. I'll fold my fabric into two, just as you can see. I'll fold it into two equal parts, and I'm going to attach it to the back. First of all, I will attach the back first. After sewing the back, then I will sew the front. I'll go and sew it, come back and show you. See here now, I'm done sewing it. I've sewn the back and the front. The next thing I will do now is to sew the inner thighs. So after sewing my trouser leg, after closing that under leg, I'll go ahead and put my elastic into the waistband at the back. After that, I will stitch the both side to hold it down. I'm going to stitch the both side in order to hold it down. Just trying to arrange it very well to make sure it's straight. And this is it. So after sewing the elastic, I went ahead and add my zip. And this is what we have. This is the final look of what we have. The next thing I will do is just to give it a good press, and that's all.